You need to be open to opportunities. You need to look at what is around you. You need to think about what really matters to you and where you can make a difference. I was born in Charleston, West Virginia. My father was a pediatrician. I went on house calls with him when I was a very little girl. But what Daddy taught me very early was what went on in the home mattered, and that in order to do the very best job for families, understanding where they lived, gaining their trust and confidence by being there in the home really did make a difference. I was born during the war years. A lot of the men were gone. I was home with my mother, with one sister. I don't remember thinking about what I wanted to be when I grew up. I liked to read. Probably my best friend during my childhood years was Miss Brown, the librarian. I spent the first part of my life not working. I saw my girls growing up. They needed me less and less. I had been away for a whole summer at a place where there was a beach and an ocean. I came back from that summer trip and I went directly down to the University of Cincinnati and registered for a class. And at the same time, I resigned from all the boards, all the organizations, all the things that I had been doing. And I thought, what is it that I am going to do that both satisfies me intellectually and emotionally and also makes a difference? That led me to not only a doctorate, but a really compelling, interesting, fascinating career.
Judy's one of the most driven people I've ever come across. And so whether it's on the advocacy front, whether it's on the philanthropic front, the entrepreneurial front, Judy is all in all the time, and she really motivates others to join her in those efforts.
People like to work with Judy because they feel her empathy for the cause, but also a recognition that you can't do these things alone.
John Pepper read a book called Inside the Brain, came to United Way and said, we're not doing what we need to for children who are in the 0 to 3 time frame. What are we as a society in Cincinnati going to do about that? And out of that evolved what's now known as Every Child Succeeds. I was hired by Children's to lead this initiative with 3 founding partners. We looked at best practices across the country. We talked to hundreds of people in the community and decided that the home visitation strategy is the one that had the most evidence and the most promise. We've made over 600,000 home visits. We have seen 26,000 families for home visiting. We've become a national reference program. We're really proud of our work and are continuing to do it. Life begins and ends with girlfriends that had been in my head for years because I know that girlfriends matter. The whole thrust of the book is really encouraging women to think introspectively about themselves, what they've learned, what matters, what is a legacy, what is the wisdom that they would like to convey to others, and especially to children and grandchildren and nieces and friends. Between David and I, we have a lot of family that's scattered in a lot of places. It's why the early years make a difference, because if you cannot create in those early years the bonds that hold people together, it's really hard to do it later.
Judy seems to have a zest for life. She enjoys art and culture and good food and wine, and she loves to travel.
It's been a passion for me to see how other people live, everything from the Amazon to the Himalaya, to understand how similar we are. And I just continue to reinforce that trip after trip after trip.
I think Judy's had a huge impact on the Cincinnati community. I think she has put the issue of early childhood on the map.
I don't think there could be many people in this city that have had a more direct influence on the lives of more people an influence that can change their whole life than Judy.
Community is a big family. There are things that all of us can do, and I firmly believe that we become better people when we are involved in the place in which we live. What this award says to me is you've lived up to the standards and the expectations for a place that you love. And I can't think of any award that would ever mean more to me than that.
Is this a recognition that is deserved? You bet it is. And it's one that I think goes beyond Every Child Succeeds, because it presents us with a role model of an individual who's dedicated an important part of their life to a cause that we see today as everything to do with making good on the promise we all should make, and that is we'll give every child a chance to grow up to fulfill his or her God-given potential. This program is at the very core of fulfilling that promise.
As one grows older, you begin to look back and think, what is it that I have done or contributed to that actually is going to live beyond me? And I truly believe that with the team of people that I'm able to work with, that the lives of 52,000 people are better because of what we together have been able to do.